Pisces, welcome back. I'm sorry for crashing the channel. I'm not been very happy about. Well, I'm very critical to my work, and I thought, it's time for a change. We need to reinvent ourselves a lot, don't we? And that's easy for you, Pisces, because you're mutable. You're not fixed, you're mutable. So for you to change, you master of it. You master at adapting into new situations. And you have this wonderful imagination, which I can pretty much see that whoever made these cards, they have to have a really strong dip into the energy of Pisces. Tolkien, Lord of the Rings guy, he was a Capricorn, but of course he had his moon in Pisces. And if it weren't for you guys, I'd be dead. I'd be dead now. Pisces are marvelous beings. You're mermaids and mermaids, your imagination is part of me. I also have some Pisces in me. Medium Coeli and second decanate Pisces. And without this energy of imagination and being able to detach from what they say is reality, don't listen to them, because what is reality? We both know that, Pisces. That's quite, I think that's up to us to decide, because we are sisters and brothers, the Scorpios and Pisces and Cancerians. We are brothers and sisters, we are siblings. So we know that the reality is just a construct. So we can't run away from the physical laws, they say, but we both know that that's not true, right? We have our own reality, and just like Einstein said, there is something I value far more than reality and knowledge, and that is imagination. Imagination, Pisces, that is your ultimate power, and this is what I want to tap into today. But we are going to have a look at, because it's also nice to know whether you have your other placement. After all, you're in here looking at this because you are Pisces, so you could be a cross-watcher and you want to know more about the Pisces energy. They are mutable, they're ruled by Neptune, which is the Christus consciousness. So this Christ energy is suffering a lot. Your Pisces have this tendency to absorb others' energies a lot, and therefore also suffering on behalf of others. And therefore also sacrificing themselves. You sacrifice yourself a lot, and at some point Pisces need to set limit. Now, my stepfather, believe it or not, he is taking care of everything that needs to be organized in part of my life. I need to now start taking that power back. How would I be so crazy to deliver my the money issues and the paperwork to a Pisces? Everyone will say that's crazy. Well, he's got moon in Taurus, so Pisces is a little bit misunderstood, because I also my Taekwondo master, he told me he was Pisces, but he looked and behaved like a Capricorn. Now, I don't have no idea what kind of other things that he had in his astrological chart, but I've never ever have I seen someone so disciplined, which goes quite the opposite of what you would know as a typical Pisces. So in order to know thyself, to know where your powers are, I would strictly recommend you to check out your chart. I use astro.com to check out where my placements are, so I know my strengths and my weaknesses and where I need to work. And where I need to, okay, I'm a little bit too much of this. How can I fix that? And from the outer world, I've been mistaken a lot from maybe having this very strong Piscean energy. I have medium coeli, like I said, in Pisces. So I detach and I live in my own world where the spirits and fairies and all these things that feel safe and they will never let me down. I have a dragon. Yes, I know you are right there. Having imaginary friends, we call them thought forms. And so having imaginary friends is actually a great thing. The Tibetan Book of the Dead, they call them the tulpas. And these thought forms, yes, I have 2 ravens. I'm telling you because you're Pisces, so it's between you and me. It's crazy, but I actually created these tulpas inspired by the Tibetan Book of the Dead, and also something, a type of magic, because the world is magic. The world is magic. And in these thought forms, where you create these entities, when you address them directly, you will get a direct connection to your subconsciousness, which I'm pretty sure Carl Gustav Jung would approve of, because in the way you see your tulpas behave, this is just a reflection of your own subconsciousness, and that is also how very often I also have a tiger here, I call Shamash, actually Shaniel, Shamash, but I often see this tiger a little bit sad, and he's withdrawn, and he's not so happy because I haven't given him proper attention. He's also sad because for the cats I had in my life, they died, disappeared. And there's also part of me that will always grieve because I did not pay attention enough to the animals I used to have in my youth. I ignored them when they cried. And so for the rest of my life, I will always dream about rabbits and hamsters and mice and all these animals that I was too young to take care of. And all this grief is projected within Shaniel, the tiger, which I created as a guardian. But I don't pay attention too much to the tulpa. I do not really pay attention to what's going on inside. And Pisces, you symbolize the very state of the subconsciousness, the very definition of the subconsciousness. You have an extraordinary evolved intuition. And you intuitively know when people are not authentic, and you also have this energy to transform energies. You are an alchemist, and to transform energies, transmute energies, but also to channel energies, because you are healers. These are your gifts. You also have this inner romantic world, and when I'm talking about tulpa as an imaginary friend, I'm here to remind everyone that what this guru said, and what a lot of people said, is that we must not get caught in our imagination. We need to ground ourselves, and we need to, yes, ground ourselves, but keep your crazy imagination. And let that be a part of you, Pisces, because that is the very essence of who you are, the very beautiful mermaids, and where we get our wonderful stories, and you are muses of the zodiac. You are the helpers. You are those who are capable of love unconditionally. You see the soul in everything, and that is what I love about Pisces. And that is, Pisces are love. But you also suffer a lot on behalf of other people. And animals, and even trees. That is the part of me, I know that's the Piscean energy in me. Neptune in 6th house, and a lot of Piscean in general. I see every little bug have a soul, and only I can only talk about this to Pisces in general. I wouldn't say this to a Taurus. Let's go through your first house, Pisces, and see what's going on in your energies right now. The Emperor. Okay, there might be an energy here of someone maybe want to control the wild Pisces. There might be a very, it could be also this energy of authority. There might be someone who have a very strong authority that is impacting your life right now, or maybe also the card suggests that you take the charge. It's time that you take charge, Pisces. And you see that's the female. All these cards, the muse, are female. So you don't have to be a man. You don't have to be Aries in order to take upon you, because you're expert. You're Nias as well. And so you're expert in camouflaging your energy and take upon you another kind of energy. You're actors. There would never be any good actor in Hollywood without having Piscean energy, because you are adapting emotions and you are able to replicate them. So this is about setting limits, because Pisces are mutable energies. Aries is cardinal, but when we are in the energy of the Emperor, we are taking charge. We are not letting anyone boss our life anymore. We become the boss. There are many ways to be the boss. You don't have to be an ass to be the boss. You know, you're taking charge and setting your limits. And you can also be humble and cool about it. Although, be a little bit careful. Humble actually means to submit. So when I say humble, I don't say submit. I say just do not overrun anyone. Emperor energy can easily be very arrogant, and this is not really good either. For arrogance is never good anywhere. Okay, let's move on. The devil. Okay, you see this devil here? It's got 3 eyes. It's kind of psychedelic. It's a little bit different than the devil cards that we know. The devil is usually someone who symbolizes overindulging in things, bad habits, or toxic energies. Could be an individual. Pisces have this weakness, when I say we now because I don't know, I feel like I'm equally as much Pisces as any Pisces, but with an edge. As Pisces, we want to escape what is unpleasant, and we want to escape the suffering. And then it's easy to listen to the snake that says, come here, I will take your pain away. Let's go back to Netherlands. Let's go back to where everything is nice, cozy, and beautiful, not to mention beautiful. And this is, of course, it's a trap. It's a trap. The star, you also get the star. So when Pisces approaches the star, you become magnificent healers. This is Aquarian energy. So Pisces, it's maybe time to move away from the toxic energies. You know this probably. And Pisces, I have a feeling it's extra important that you hydrate yourself, keep yourself hydrated. Because with the mermaids, when they are not hydrated, they get feet, they get legs. And you get to walk on earth for some time, but you want to get back in the water, because this is where we belong. And so when we do not drink enough water, our skin will get rashed, and in general we will get headache. There was this guy once who had headache in the work where I was, and he had so much headache, and I asked him, have you been drinking enough water? And he said, no. Sometimes the question or the answer is very simple. Healing. Sometimes the star card can symbolize fame, fortune, and I have a few Pisces in my life who are very much the Pisces who sometimes dream about that which is external of us. Dream about, I know someone very well, you know, when I get this beautiful house, when this happens, then I will be happy. So it's very important for you Pisces to withdraw from this, when this happens, then I will be happy, and then learn how to be at peace and happy right here and right now, because right here, right now, notice that you accumulate all those emotions within you and they can be triggered by looking in a magazine. So what I would strictly recommend you to do, which I find very much fun, is to create a scrapbook. Trust me, I've done it a few times in the past, and it's wonderful. You get old magazines with the most beautiful pictures that triggers your emotion. I think actually I might start doing that again. And put them in this collage within this book. And I used to look within this book how I wanted my house to look inside, where I wanted to travel, and all these small pictures, they triggered a good emotion in me. And I would feel very happy by simply just looking at those pictures. So for a Piscean, yeah, why not? And you need to go into that state if you want to manifest something, you know, to become the caviar, right? To produce, to want the external world to reflect what is inside of you. That is to be in this good state of mind where you accumulate these energies all the time, because you realize you are that. You don't have to hunt for it. I am these energies. That beautiful world I yearn for is already inside of me, because I am that. And that is a quite, for many it can take years to realize that I am that. I don't need to hunt for that. It's already here. La Luna, Cancerian energy. Normally they used to attach this to Pisces. There's only one problem I have with that, except that Pisces are rulers of the 12th house, is that the moon is ruler over the Cancerian energy. But it doesn't matter. The Luna is all about the moon, secrets and things that is hidden to us, things we do not see or things we do not want to see. So there is something here that needs to come out in the light so it can be nourished, just like the plants need some light so we can survive. So it's something that maybe you do not see, or maybe you don't not want to see. And you can fix that, can we not? So here we have the High Priestess. This could also represent Pisces and Cancerian energies. All the aquatics is all about going within, and I feel that many of you now are in this state, you know, where you realize I need to go inside to find what is really true. And I am here to remind people that since I was a little girl, I always had the imaginary world within me, and I knew that no matter how much people teased me, or how much I was, you know, abandoned from the cool guys and all these things, no matter how much people told me that that's not real, I always knew that there was something different that I could see, that I never obeyed, really, truly. I always kept this beautiful inner world inside of me, because I knew that if someone takes away that from us, we will stop being us. That is our direct connection to source. That's this so-called imaginary world. This is where the creation starts. It can also be memories of other lives and places that you are connected to, because there's no such thing as past and the future. So this is where the concept of multidimensional worlds are coming in, and we are always connected to our past life, which in reality are other lives that you're living right here and now. So stay with your imagination, be in the silence, look within, and teach yourself. teach yourself. You don't really have to read a lot of books in order to connect directly to source. So I am here to tell everyone that there is nothing wrong with having there's no such thing as a too much vivid imagination. There's no such thing. Well, you can't distinguish between what's real and not real. Then tell me what's real. Because what's real to you and what's real to someone else is not necessarily the same. We have a different approach to it. When we come in here, we are from different spaces. We are different, and yet we are the same. Just like the garlic and the pepino on top of the pizza, they are, they taste different, but they are all on the pizza. I use pizza allegory or the metaphor a lot because it's that simple. I'm a huge fan of a simple mind. Okay, let's check your energies, Pisces, from the astrological world, the stars and the planets. Neptune in reversed, talking about too much vivid, when Neptune in reversed, when we attached to the imaginary world and we forget to take care of ourselves, taking that shower, making our bed and creating the food, and we forget, then of course that can be an issue. It can also speak about overindulging, that we drink to forget things that we need to confront in order to move on. So when we say it's too much imagination, no, there is no such thing. But when we don't want to address our physical bodies and we don't want to address situation, and yet it will harm us if we don't address them, then of course we have a problem. Then again, you have actually people who are sitting in a meditative state for years and they don't move. Now, if that's the path you want to take, then I will do this and I will do this. So this is Christ consciousness. This is being compassionate. This is to love unconditionally. And this is something I really wish more people could understand. What really is it to love unconditionally? Because as far as I checked around in the world, we tend to love and we give a condition. And some people are not worthy of our love, and some animals and some trees or some constructs and concepts are not worthy of our love. Things that have a soul, so to speak, simple. So we have a hierarchy of who deserve love. And so this goes for you as well, Pisces, that are there some areas in your life that needs this attention, need this light? And do you feel that sometimes you are not worthy of having the completion of love from others, or is this not given to you? If that's the case, can you learn from this and see how can I give this in return to being able to be capable of loving unconditionally, and therefore you will become the master. Pluto in reversed. So there is a force right now that is triggering you, might be triggering you. I don't want to put words into your mouth or put situation into your reality, which is not. So this is where you need to be careful, Pisces, to do not take in things that not necessarily need to be in your reality. But when Pluto is triggered, he will destroy everything in our life that is not needed, and it's a very spiritual kind of energy. It's Shiva. Shiva is the spirit, everything that is not physical, and reality is that we are not really physical. That's part of the game. That's part of the simulation that we are in. And so Kali would represent what is physical to us. The Shiva is the spirit. And so when Saturn comes into our life, he will destroy what is physical, because Saturn is Chronos, Saturn is time, so we wither. And so in time we will also mature spiritually, if that is what we seek, if that is what we want, if that is what we create within ourselves. And for that, there are certain ways that do not serve us. Pluto will be in reversed, and at some point, it's like the volcano, something will shake you up and it will be disastrous to us. But that's part of life. We lose things to create the idea that we are separate. And in reality, we are not. And you notice the older you get, the faster time moves. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? Well, it's not really a thing, is it? So Pluto is here to tell you that if there's something in your life that you don't need anymore, that is toxic to you, that prevents you from evolving, then remove it. Or if you don't, I will. Aries. So Aries is here to remind you of taking action. So there might be individuals in your life that are, this is also the aggressor. So the Aries have a lot of temper, I have Mars in first house, I think. And so, I could be the loose cannon as you. In my past, I was really the loose cannon. And I had to learn to take these energies and to cool them down, to take some time off, because when Aries is here, and we are in the mindset of Aries, when we are losing ourselves into temper and anger, we don't really act from intelligence and wisdom or love. So we destroy things, or we say malicious words, and I've been there. I've done lots of harm by saying malicious things, or luckily it's a very long time ago, for the last decade at least, been pretty much, well, it's a challenge. It's a challenge. If you have too much fire, and too little water, too little air, the fire will blow up. But Aries is also a warrior and a leader who takes action, takes control where it is needed. So it talks or speaks to you now, Pisces, that it's maybe time to take action. And whatever that confrontation that will be, well, go with the flow. And set your limits, set your standard. Do not compromise for what's important for you, what is nurturing to your spirit and your heart. Saturn. So you have Saturn and Pluto, but Saturn is coming out like this. And so I think a lot of Pisces need a little bit discipline, or if not, if you have too much discipline, that too can go wrong, because we cannot control everything. So it's this balance when you're riding the bike. If we control too many aspects of life, we will get migraine, we will get contraction in our muscles, and we will get cramps and stress, we will get dis-ease. And so Saturn is also, he wants to control things. There might be individuals in your life that reflects this aspect that wants to control Pisces, because Pisces is out of control. So Saturn comes into our life. He is the ruler of Capricorn. But I know from experience that people of Taurus are also, they love to have control. Although they are ruled by Venus, their exalted planet is Vulcan. Vulcan is a planet we do not see. So now I'm moving myself into the universe of esoteric astrology. But this card is full of tension, but it's also the card we need in order to discipline ourselves. If you want to be a good martial artist, you need discipline. If you want to have a good economy, you need discipline. If you want to have a good, if you want to be self-confident, you need to be disciplined and understand that, certain things can be uncomfortable to do, speak up for yourself can sometimes require discipline. To raise your voice and say, no, I'm not okay with this. You don't have to scream. But sometimes when we whisper things and speak inward and say, I'm not okay with this, it's a sign of submission, and then Saturn will come in, and then Aries will come in and will take charge of us. If you don't take charge of the situation, Pisces, someone else will, or something else will. So the sun. So the sun is an opportunity for you, Pisces, to cast light upon a situation. Something that is still within the dark, something that we do not see. This is Leo energy. And the sun rules Leo, so you can also have a strong Leo placement, of course, but the sun is always about growth. It gives life. And it's actually a feminine energy. It's mistaken for being the masculine energy because it's expansive. But think about it. The sun is the womb. The moon is the silver. That's being reflected. It reflects light. So the female energy is actually the one who creates life. And so we are submitted into the masculine. So this goes for both genders, that there are many constructs in this reality that are twisted upside down. Alright, you got the sun, yeah? Okay, let's check. We're going to do the Celtic cross, so I'm not sure I'm comfortable of predicting the future, but possible outcomes, so we can be aware of that, if I don't ride my bike properly, if I'm looking in too many directions at the same time, I will crash into something. So you have 8 of fire. Oh, these cards are beautiful. So there might be something here that you feel that you must fight for it. There's this energy of needing to fight. Could be also some of you feel that you need to defend yourself. But mostly I feel more that this can talk about travel or news coming in, Pisces. This is fiery energy. So there might be something that is happening very fast for you now regarding changes, that there is some news that could be on the way in, that you might expect soon. But it also talks about, usually 8 of Wands is travel, or something that's coming in very fast regarding. It's great. We will have a look. We will have a look. It says here something about tempo. Okay. So yeah, the defense mechanism is coming here. Some of you might have been struggling for a long time, and you feel you have been in this energy of you feel to constantly protect yourself. You know, you dodge this and dodge this. That there has been something here that you feel is either external of you. This speaks about usually a wounded warrior, someone that has to go through many fights in life in order to obtain this barrier. And Pisces is all about this. This is the lesson of Pisces in general, is to create a barrier. But it's not easy to get into Pisces world. Believe it or not, but most Pisces I know can come out as very emotionally unavailable. Although you don't think you are there, it can be very difficult to approach Pisces and to get into the souls of Pisces. And maybe you're not aware of it yourself, but reflect upon this and see that we sometimes have this protection shield around us, and we live in our own world where we feel like, you know, the real world or the external world is a little bit scary, so we protect ourselves in order to, well, not get hurt, obviously, because we're already hurt. We have been heartbroken many times, and we have to grow up and learn that, well, the imaginary world does not exist because it's all in your head. Or the ones we love, they don't love us back, or, you know, we've been beaten up, so that creates a wounded warrior. Let's check what you have in your block, Pisces. You have the Wheel of Fortune. So you are on a path of destiny right now. Maybe you find it a little bit difficult to grab that. I find it difficult to grab it a little bit, but it's just fair that we are in a soul contract. We are in a soul contract, and some things could be destined to be. But you can also speak about, you know, the things that we expect to come, or we dream about things, and that is the fortune, right? Fortune, Wheel of Fortune. Could be, you know, a fortune. What is a fortune? Well, we're connected with money and wealth. So Wheel of Fortune comes in our life. It can suggest that wealth is coming in, or we will have luck. But then again, when it's in your blockage, then I'm thinking, okay, how can the Wheel of Fortune be in your blockage? Well, maybe you have too many expectations to things, or maybe things did not come out as expected. So you need to maybe lower your standard a little bit. It also talks about some news here. So let's have a look and see. Okay, it looks like in the past there might have been a soulmate involved here, Pisces. Someone that you were really, this is in, you know, distant past. What is distant past? I don't know, it could be anything from, I think, from a year ago to maybe even more. Could be all the way from when you were born. Could even be from another life. So it's two of cups, you know, that's unity. That's unity. It's Cancerian energy. It's unity in love. This is in your past. Let's check out what this was. Could have been. Okay. So in your distant, not so far past, you have the Empress. And you have 3 of fire. So I feel like there is this energy of waiting for someone or something. And maybe things did not go as expected. But you have the Empress card. And you also had in the beginning the Emperor. So it could be a soul connection here that did not go out as expected. There is this energy here of waiting, and with the Empress card here, I would highly suggest that some of you are highly evolved on some level there. I feel that some of you are masters, because some of you are masters of manifesting things. But you might also have an expectation which is, I'd say it's beyond your imagination. Well, what is that anyway? What is that? But there is a standard here which I feel is a little bit difficult to live up to. Venus in Capricorn. And the truth is, the very perfection here on Earth is the imperfection. It's asymmetry. You go everywhere and you find the Fibonacci spiral, and you find the sacred geometry everywhere, but it's also expressed within asymmetry. It's not 110 perfection. Even our faces, they are not similar on each side. And so this expectation maybe someone expected, you had this expectation to you, Pisces, where you could not live up to this. Could be the other way around. And I've been hurt. I've been hurt a lot. And what happens when we are hurt? We hurt ourselves also. We punish ourselves and we give ourselves a hard time. And I know, Pisces, you are masters at feeling guilt. And Osho speaks a lot about feeling guilt, that it doesn't serve us any good. I too need to reflect upon all this guilt I feel, because I could not be there for the most important entity in my life in the manner I was hoping. And for that now, the guilt is coloring my days, and yet it does not serve us. It does not serve us. So letting go of this, the guilt and expectations. What's crowning the energies here is the Lovers. There was a choice here that is in reversed. So I'm not certain. For some of you it can be, but it's anyway about a choice. So of course we needed some romance in here, some lost romance, in order for this to be a real deal Pisces reading. Could speak about a lost love, because this is strongly connected, this energy about this soulmate and expectation, and things did not go as someone hoped, and for this we could overindulge in some energies and comfort ourselves with movies and a good wine, or things that makes it feel a little better. But no one are really lost to us, Pisces. We know that life is really kind of short if you think about it. And so whoever is lost is not really lost. And this beautiful, beautiful imagination that you have, and this magic ability you have to create love within you and just be careful on projecting this idea into an individual. I too have been punishing people a lot in my youth for not living up to the very standard of what one's supposed to be. And I'm still paying for who I was back then. I'm still paying for that to this very day. By people who cannot let this go. We have forgiveness, but some people refuse to forgive. They say, yeah, that is unforgivable. But it is actually possible to change. Believe it or not. Problem is, when we walk into someone else's life or become a part of someone else's life, and we are trying to change them into our own image because we, elevating ourselves into a state of perfection and trying to create a frame for someone else into them living into this perfection. So when I've been in relationships, I've always been conscious, you have your own life at the side. You cannot sit and watch TV together and do everything together, deprive, because we are different. We are different. And we need some time in our own space. Lost love? Is there really such thing as lost love? How can we lose love? That is a bigger question. So we're going to have a look at your near future, which the Celtic cross suggests. So we have the moon, again, something that is hidden to us, something that needs to be cast light upon in the near future. A lua is Portuguese, so the moon here is a little bit different though. It carries more grace and beauty to it. This card is connected to Haniel, the archangel Haniel. So I don't know. I really have not memorized all the 72 names of God, which is represented in the archangel. Nor have I memorized the 72 names of the gracious spirits, which would be the opposing forces. But all the archangels are actually representative of a vibration. So when we say Han-el, it means Han of God. And Han has a meaning to it, which you can look up. And it represents actually a song, a sound. So all these 72 facets that you can also find in the flower of life, and also when you place the Kabbalistic tree, it's not just one tree, it's just a small representation of the entire picture of this geometrical concept of the tetragrammaton. You can see there in the background this pentagram. So now I'm pulling it a little bit deeper. But in this flower of life, in this construct, this star, which have a construct, I believe it's only 64 actually. The 72 names of God, what does it mean? What is God? It's a sound. It's a sound, it's a vibration. And you Pisces, all your individual Pisces out there, you have a different sound. You have your own song. You're literally a walking sound or sounds. And when we are in disease, we also create dissonance. This is why we play music which can create resonance, because sound impacts matter and restructures the very components of our cell structure. And so when something does not resonate with us, we become in dis-ease. This is sound pollution. So what does the moon have to do with this? There is a sound here that we do not hear. There is something here we do not see. There is something here which is hidden that needs to, at some point, the moon will disappear and the sun will rise. Yeah? Certain things we do not want to see, and there are certain things we simply don't see. Does it matter? Well, if it affects your life in a manner where you are deconstructing your life, maybe that's a good thing, to deconstruct your life, to defragmentize yourself and then restructure yourself into a new component. Who knows? Let's check your surroundings. So you get the Emperor again, and you have Nine of Aries. So there is this there is someone here who are could be someone in your life or something in your life, this energy of something that wants to control Pisces and is stressing Pisces out, gives Pisces nightmare. Could be also people who are not in a good state, who stresses and creates dissonance, the sound you don't need. So this is where where is this? Well, where is this? Is this representing your surroundings? So usually where we have things in ourselves that we don't want to see or we don't want to face, it will be represented by the people in our life. Now, when I have been in a state of mind which is not good, instead of people showing compassion and love for this, I've been met with judgment. Judge. And been told that you look stupid, you look ridiculous, you sound ridiculous, take down that, remove this from your life, become this so you can do that. Instead of showing love and compassion, because it's that point in life. And what can we learn from this? Well, we can learn that, okay, if I see someone else acting ridiculous, do not judge. Maybe it is compassion what they need, and in fact help. Because if you don't help them, they will disappear. And many people who are alone and feel they are not loved, they actually disappear, and they disappear for good. This energy of someone who wants to control our life, who think that if Pisces live up to the structures I create, which is the Emperor, which is the square, which is a leader, is someone who tells you what to do, it creates nightmare, Nine of Air, creates stress. Then you ask yourself, is this what I need in order to restructure myself? Or can I set a limit? Or maybe I just need to lose myself and disappear. But if you need to be comfortable in disappearing and lose yourself and becoming the no one and the pathless path. And realize that it's the illusion. It's part of the illusion, it's part of the game. But you need to take your control back. And understand that it's not up to someone else and tell you how create an idea of who you are versus, because you're God. You're God with amnesia. All those concepts out there where people tell you who you should be, or you cannot live up to that, Pisces. It's not possible. It's not possible. Only you know you. Queen of Air. Some of you are suppressing a lot of emotions. This can be, you can, to others, okay. So they cannot love me for who I am. They cannot take me in as I am. Or I am hurt at some point in life. The love will start to go from unconditional from someone to conditional, because we are not children anymore. So we do not deserve the same love as we used to do, because we are not children anymore. So since we are adults, we need to get our shit together. We're not supposed to have any weak spots. And so we become king and queen of air. Because in the end, how can we live up to all those expectations? And then, okay, if you cannot love me as I am, I'll pull down the wall, and don't you get closer. I have my sword and I raise it, don't get closer. What is blocking your path? You have the mage. You have the mage. So some of you are doubting your ability to manifest. Stop that. You have the mage. You are a mage. You are the masters of illusions, and so you are a master creator. Some of you are literally magicians. To think else is to walk back into the path which is less. Okay, 4 possible outcomes. I believe that anything can change. It will. What is constant is really just the vibration of love. We are eternal, but the physical idea of who we are will change. And you know how to change. Four of Cups can sometimes represent an opportunity that is lost to us. Maybe we sometimes do not appreciate what we already have. We sometimes rebel against stagnation. Ace of Swords, truth. There will be a clarity to this situation, and that's one thing I am sure of, as long as you seek it. Wipe the dust off the floor. No one bites dust. You will get clarity. Use your sword into something constructive, because all the swords are about the mind. It's not about chopping vegetables for people. It's clarity of the mind, a clarity into a situation. And this opportunity, it's actually already here. It's just for you to grab it. Okay, we have a jumper. 2 of Fire, same as Sagittarius. There is a choice here that needs to be taken, either to the left or the right, and as I told Sagittarius, neither left or right is necessarily wrong. It's not such, this is also a human construct. Wrong. That's wrong. Well, 2 and 2 equals 3 could be wrong. But then again, 0 equals 2 if you are a theosophist, isn't it? And we have, wow, also same as Sagittarius. Or was it? Yeah. Queen of, no, King of Cups. And yeah, this is very strong love. When Scorpios love with intense passion. It's strong love. King of Cups speaks about, it's a lot of power. The 8th house is about money, sex, death, all the things that we should not talk about. But it's there. It's also about transformation. So when we die, we transmute into something else. So we're getting into the cocoon state. We're getting into the chrysalis state. And when we reappear, we have wings. Everything is changed except the content in our brains that carries a memory of who we used to be as a, was that puppy? the larvae, caterpillar and these things, yeah. So this is about transformation. It could be an individual in your life, could be your soulmate, or this that someone will approach your life, could be a Scorpio or a strong Scorpio placement. They are ruled by Mars, ruled by Pluto. So this speaks of someone who he does not come out in reverse. Could be a female, could be a male. I'm a female Scorpio. No pasa nada. No pasa nada. And when Scorpios are elevated, they turn into eagles. They don't give a shit about taking revenge or controlling. Scorpios likes to control. And these are dangerous people, yeah. But when Scorpio leaves the state of an eagle, they turn into a phoenix. You could have some strong Scorpio placement in your chart. I do know Scorpio with Pisces moon, and I have met Pisces with Scorpios, strong Scorpio in the chart. And it's good, because when you have Scorpio in your chart, you will not worry about the emperor or this authority figure. It could be a father or someone who are, poking into your life and, creating an impact where you cannot be you anymore, Pisces. But this beautiful individual here can represent 3 different stages of life, and it could be represented within, as in someone approaching you, Pisces. Okay? Someone who can approach you. I think you get my point. Okay, let's check the El Oráculo de la Paz, the Peace Oracle. okay. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Could be the Scorpio coming in, telling Pisces, I'm sorry. Confident. Abundance. So, looks like some of you might get your Wheel of Fortune, Pisces. Oh. Passage. Maybe a rite of passage. And you get strategy. I think the words speak for themselves, so I don't want to put ideas in your head. I already put too many ideas in your head, I assume. Okay, one more card. Contribution. Contribute with love. There you do. This is a very good read, Pisces. I feel your hurt and I feel your pain, and I cannot say that I know how you feel. That's not possible, but I can feel with you. So thank you so much, Pisces, for joining me in this journey, and I hope this resonates for you. So thank you so much for joining me here, and I really hope to see you again. Namaste.